Good morning, my friends. Wanted to come back and make a little video on the Texaco memorabilia that I told you about. First, we'll do a little house keeping. I'm smoking a little Savinelli Orient rusticated. I believe they call that light in the back is getting kind of in the way. I believe they call this a brandy type bowl. I'm getting really partial to these saddle. I think they call these saddle bit stems, but getting really partial to those. And in it, I'm smoking something that you can find at least down here in the South. You can find it just about any little tobacco outlet. A lot of convenience stores carry them. A little over-the-counter brand, half and half. This is, like I say, probably anywhere, but I know in the South this is readily available. And this is it's a good burley tobacco, good smooth, something you can smoke in the mornings. I'm an aromatic big fan of aromatics, but some of them are just a little bit overpowering in the mornings. When I get up in the morning, I'm a cigarette smoker. We're cut way back, not smoking near as much, down to probably a half pack a day. But I want that cigarette in the morning, and if I choose to reach for that pipe first, I don't want to be big heavy aromatic. I want something in a burley or a Virginia, and this fits the bill. It along in my burley light. And this says burley and bright tobacco. I'm assuming it's got some some Virginias in it. But look, go out. This little pack's about $3.50. Go out and pick you one up. You'll like it. I enjoyed it. It smokes good in this little Savinelli, and one of the things I'm getting to kind of like about this, and of course this is really this is probably my best smoking pipe, and it's not an expensive Savinelli. I think I give $78 for it. It's expensive for what I usually buy because I buy a lot of basket pipes and whatnot. So this is probably the most expensive that I have. But one of the things, and I was a little bit concerned about it at first, but come to find out, I think they all do this little Orient. And I don't know if you can see it. There's some darkness coming out in the grain, and that's from handling, and I guess it's from the oil from our skin and stuff does it. It's almost like kind of like a meerschaum, and it's changing, it's darkening with the more you handle it, and it's kind of giving it its own unique little look about it, and really enjoying that. Since Matches 860 is not our good friend Matches 860, unfortunately is not doing his Matches Moments. We're all going to miss that, but we're looking forward to what he's got. Some good things coming in the future for us, and we're all looking forward to that. But since he's not doing his Matches Moments, it's kind of up to all of us to promote some of the new guys and give them some shout outs. And I did one yesterday, and I wanted to mention a couple of more today that I've run across here that are, one of them is not, he's about a month old. The other one is just getting started. One of them, I think he's got 3 or 4 or 5 videos up already, and that's Denali Dave. And I'm not sure, I very well may be wrong on this, but I think he may be from Indiana, maybe. Really nice guy. Check him out. He's going to be a big asset to the community. And the other one is Aromatic Pipe Owl 21. Also a very nice guy. He too is going to be a big asset to the community. Getting some good videos up. And if any of you friends know of anybody new, let's give them a plug and get them out there and like their videos, and where people can see them and where they can pick up some viewers and some friends here in the community. Let's give them all the help we can. And Matches, we do miss you. and wish you the best of luck in your new endeavors. Whatever you've got coming forward with, it's going to be good. We're looking forward to it. Back to the subject at hand. When I was a little boy, my dad he owned a Texaco station here in the town we live in. I live in an area, a little area that's got about 150,000 people in this parish. Louisiana has parishes rather than counties, and he had a big Texaco station in town. Done a really good, remarkable business, and as a kid, I got interested in the Texaco, in general, and over the years collected a few things, and then when I was 18 years old, I bought my first Texaco station. Wound up with 3 Texaco stations, and over the years, I've had a couple of Shells, a couple of Exxons, Chevron. And I started out in the days of the old full serve stations, just like my dad, and did that for a number of years. And those stations evolved into what are the convenience stores now that we see. Got out of that business about 6 years ago and got into the barbecue business. I really miss the old service station days, and back the days when we ran them, we ran top-notch type stations. When you came in, they were fully stocked, had full line of belts, hoses, batteries, tires. We even had tow truck service and service trucks that we would send out on the road. All our people were in uniform. The stations were clean and clean restrooms. And when you came in, you wasn't like in some grease pit. You did a big repair business at all these stations. We changed oil, fixed flats, pumped gas, white windshields. I miss those days, and unfortunately, in the area that we live in, I don't think there's not even one left, and that's sad. Just came back from the Baltimore, Washington D.C. area, and there's a bunch of them up in that part of the country. Still a bunch of old full serve type stations, and they all seem to be doing very well. It just goes to show you that. There's still a need for some service. But I grew very passionate about, over the years, I never did collect much Shell stuff, very little Exxon stuff, which I've kind of gotten rid of, most of it. Had all of the Chevron cars at one time that they sell on these little plastic cars that they sell on promotions, and gave those away a couple of years ago just to we needed the room, didn't have any room left for all this junk, and gave them all to Toys for Tots one year at Christmas time, and felt like that was a good home for them. The Texaco stuff I'm going to kind of hang on to. A lot of that is old cans and whatnot. Some of it is collectibles that Texaco sold during the year. They were real big every year on coming out with a new bank at Christmas time. A replica of an old tanker truck or whatnot, and over the years they've had several giveaway promotions, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I've displayed. I've got a bunch of stuff that I've got stored that I don't have displayed, but some of my more favorite pieces, and I'll try to tell you a little story about them. I'm going to move this camera or computer. I'm on a laptop, so the ride's going to get a little bumpy. May get a little shaky, so hold on just a minute, and we'll just bear with me, and we'll get moved and try to show you everything. I'm going to kind of get behind the camera where I can show you some stuff I've got in the curio cabinet, and you're going to start out on this side. Let's see. Up here on the top is an Olympic. This was offered in 1996. It's a little Olympic truck with a little car, little folding side on that, and the key to a lot of these little collectibles is keeping the box that it came in. Whatever they get to be, whatever they're worth, it takes about 50% off of the value if you don't have the box. I've kept all the boxes, not all the boxes. I don't display all the boxes for lack of room, but if you're going to collect anything, be it Hot Wheels, be it Texaco stuff, Coca-Cola stuff, whatever you're keeping to collect, save the box because it will diminish the cost by about half. These are some tankers that were offered for sale in our stations. This is an Olympic one here. This is an old vintage 60s through the 70s Texaco tanker truck. This was one from the early 80s. All of these trucks, and I don't have batteries in them now, they'll all light up. They've got horns, blinking lights and horns. This is one of my favorites. This is a try to get this thing down here where you can see it. This is a 1958 B Mac tanker. Old, really going way back, an old vintage Texaco tanker. On the side it says petroleum products in all 48 states. I just want to be sure that we're seeing everything. You can see some of the patches here. I'm hoping you can see them. This patch here dates back to the 40s. This one is from the mid 60s up to 79 or 80. This was one of the last patches used when I got out. This is from the 80s, early. I got out in the late 80s. Well, we started changing the convenience stores in the late 80s. This is from a fast lube, lubrication deal. Some little pendant pin things here. Even some collectible cards. Texaco even had a little lure giveaway from Norman Lure Company. Some different little crankbaits. You could get those at a discounted price, or maybe even free with a fill-up. I don't remember. These are some old maps and some collectible tins that I've got. Let's see here. We're going to start up here. And like I say, I hope that I'm behind this thing, and I hope you can see it. A lot of this old stuff, Texaco dated by, they would put the date on the box. That old auto lamp bulbs deal came out of my dad's station. It had all your little bulbs, your turn signal bulbs, whatnot in it. This is an old Texaco outboard motor oil. Texaco dated all the cans the year they were made. This was made in 1948. Texaco lighter fluid from 1972. A little box of miniature lamp bulbs. Some chrome polish, rubber repair kits, an old filter. Just some things. This one dates back. This has got a 1928 date on it. This home lubricant. You see the spout on it. Then Texaco, I'm kind of getting a little ahead, but Texaco did some airplanes for a while. They called the Wings of Texaco. Every year they would come out with a new plane. This is some of my favorites. One of my favorites is the Grumman Goose here. I'll try to get that one. They flew this plane back in the 40s in Louisiana. It would land on some of the bayous and stuff when they were drilling for oil here. And these are the most prominent, and I hope you can see them. Some of the trucks, they would come out every year around Christmas time. They were the little toy banks. This is over here starting with number 1, and this is not in very good shape. But I wished when that thing first came out, it had the Texaco wanted us to order a couple of cases of them, and I was very hesitant to order it. And certainly that first year they didn't go over very well. Wound up giving away a few to some family members, some kids for Christmas. Later, that thing with the box got to where it was worth about $1,500. Number 2 got up to where it was worth about $1,200 here. Of course, by the third one, we knew they were catching on and started. Every year I would hold 1 or 2 back in the boxes to keep for collection. This was the last year that they had it, and they no, it wasn't the last year, but I'm missing a couple of years. I've got to get caught up on that. This old pilot's log book, I put it in with the planes. This thing from probably the mid 60s. And of course, Texaco, always been a big sponsor of racing, NASCAR. This car, and I hope you can see it on the back. This was Davey Allison's last car, and the year that we ordered those, he was killed in a helicopter crash about 3 or 4 days before those cars arrived to our locations. And his widow and Texaco themselves were afraid that people would really exploit it. And they asked that we send them back for a credit. And they gave us our money back on what we'd ordered. And I did. I did what they asked to do. And some did not. And later, I needed that car. That car, it was a very select few out on the market. And I needed that car to complete my collection. And found one over in Jefferson, Texas. The guy wanted $400 for it. And so he was also a collector, and I managed to do some trading on some pieces I had, and I wound up with about $300 in actual dollars in what I had invested through a little horse trading. But it's just amazing how some of these different things will happen to make something go up. Of course, the Indy cars, just some little old globes and whatnot here, and I've got a lot of stuff stored that I'm not collected, that I'm not, I need to get out and get displayed. And as you can see, some old cans and stuff from up there, even dating back to the days when Haviland was just an oil company on its own, had no association with Texaco. And then Texaco had its own oil that did not say Haviland. Later, when Texaco bought out Haviland, it became Texaco Haviland. Now it's Chevron Haviland. Chevron owns the name Haviland. But just wanted to show you a few of the little pieces that I had. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And like I say, if you're going to collect this stuff, be sure and save your boxes, because that will diminish the value by about half on what you're trying to do. Anyway, just like I say, let's all plug these new guys and girls in the community. There's a new lady out too from up in the Ozarks of Missouri. I think her name is Pat's Simple Pleasures of Life or something is her handle. Really nice lady, making some videos. Check her out too, and let's keep this community going. I appreciate all you people watching my videos and your subscription, but most of all, I appreciate your friendship, and that means a lot. And it's we all live all over the country and all over the world. I've got friends in England and friends in Germany, Texas, Florida, Indiana, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, all over the country that we communicate with back and forth through emails. And I value your friendship more than anything. And a lot of times we're all so far apart, as chances of us all ever getting together and sitting down and having a pipe together is probably pretty slim. This is as close as we can get. And when I watch your guys and girls videos, most of the time I've got a pipe. Well, not most, 99% of the time, I'm sitting back smoking a pipe, enjoying the videos. And when I sit down and make one, I always have a pipe. I'm going to do one with a cigar one day, but I always have a pipe because it's kind of like just sitting back and relaxing, chewing the fat, and having a pipe with friends. Let's keep this community going. And until next time, may God richly bless each and every one of you.